Hey, YouTube, Side Guy 29 coming at you here. Video today that started with um, watching another YouTuber's video, Scotty Tradition. For those that haven't checked it out, I think you should. He has some great insight, even though he's a Packers fan. Outside of that, I really enjoy the channel. Uh, Great collection, great insight. Has been doing it a while, and just one of the guys I like to watch and kind of communicate with back and forth when I can. Um, he brought up a point on one of his recent videos, and I'll link the video down below. But um, there's a couple things that he said in the video that really got me to thinking, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm not going to show anything. It's going to kind of be me talking and hopefully getting you to think about some things as well. But the first thing he said that caught my attention was there's cards I love and cards I like. And that really got me to thinking. It's like, okay, there's a lot of cards that I really like that I have. There's some that I really love, and some of those are back behind me here on the quiz. So that was something that one of my kids made for me. Can share that on another video, but those are cards I love because it's got a personal connection to me, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit. The second thing he said was, "I'm not the one that likes to stow away hundreds of thousands of cards," and it got me to thinking. I've got those hundreds of thousands of cards, but how many of them do I truly love? And he was talking, if you watch the video, won't spoil the whole thing, but he goes in and talking about why he's doing what he's doing with his collection. And that really got me to think, if somebody asked me, how would I describe myself as a collector? And I think that's something that as I've gotten back into the hobby more, as I look at my collection, when I was, the bulk of my collection was obtained. Uh, I was a quantity guy. I wanted as much as I could get my hands on. Didn't matter what I was opening, didn't matter where it came from, and unfortunately, at times, didn't matter what I paid for it. But hopefully, I've gotten a little wiser with that. And so I started thinking, okay, what types of collectors are there? And so I started doing a little research, and I've found lots of stuff. If you want more information on this, let me know. But I found uh, an article on liveabout.com, and it was talking about investing in comic books, but it came up on my search because it talked about 10 types of collectors. And I thought, well, this is a good spot to kind of go. Because the more I read it, I thought, okay, uh, this might help me out to kind of define myself as a collector. And hopefully, I think after doing some of this, I've come to some conclusions that will help me going forward. But the first type that they talk about is the investor. And this was back up. This was written by Aaron Albert, and it came in June of 2018. And I just did a search to find out, just kind of looked for types of collectors and did some general searches, and then kind of sorted through some stuff to find what I was looking for. But the first type of collector is the investor, and that's that person that, here in the hobby today, obviously, um, you hear it talked about all the time. It's this person that just they want to come in, buy the big stuff, hang on to it, and turn it around for a profit at a later time. This is the first level, and there's another level that kind of fits with this, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now, the second one is another type of collector that you find a lot of, especially on YouTube channels. You find that obsessive collector. They obsess until they have every single thing that they're looking for, whether it be the rainbow or every parallel, every insert, every card of a player, all the base complete set runs, whatever the case might be. They obsess over everything, how their collection is stored, how it's displayed, how it's protected. They obsess over absolutely everything. The next person kind of goes back to number one, and I probably should have reordered these, but this is the actual order from the article, and it's the quick buck person. And I think we've seen a lot of that. I know I've referenced it on my channel, that guy that goes and clears out the mega boxes at Walmart, or, has a cart full of stuff from Target because they happen to hit it at the right time when the rep was there stocking shelves. But, they're nothing more than turn it now. Get it online, get it sold, have somebody willing. And this kind of goes with, I've seen a lot of on Twitter lately, people saying, "Hey, anybody want this?" And even on a Facebook group that I'm in, and it's like, man, that's great, but I'm still going to be paying more than what I'd like to for that product, especially, most of those retail blaster boxes that they're showing. So, uh, the fourth type is the inheritor, somebody that inherits that collection and they really don't know what to do with it. It's cool. They know there's an attachment to it, but what do I do now? Where do I go from here, kind of thing. That can turn in to the quick buck person in a slightly different format to me. Six is the average Joe. That's the person that likes it, they enjoy it, but they don't necessarily get obsessed with it. They don't go overboard with it. It's something they like to do, but it's not something they have to do. With this, I found another article that kind of went through 8 parameters of collectors, and one of the things that it talked about in there was when how you kind of obsess over it, you take it to a new level, and that's probably for another video at another time. But the average Joe is kind of that in and out collector. They maybe collect for a while, they kind of bounce back and forth. Maybe it's with their kids, but I think there's a lot more average Joes than we want to admit in the hobby. The next one is the eBayer, and that it's kind of the thrill of the auction. And I think a lot of people get caught in that, but I think a lot of people also get consumed by that. Uh, you know, not going to get outbid. And those of you that go, I love going to live auctions when they actually happen. Obviously, lately that's not been a big part of anybody's life, but and it doesn't matter whether you're doing it, through Golden or Pristine or anybody that runs an auction. You can kind of get wrapped up in that, and it's almost the thrill of winning the auction as much as it is the item that you're getting. And I think everyone kind of time to time falls into that category. The part timer, they're in and out of collecting. It kind of goes with the average Joe. It's not necessarily all the time, but they have these nice pieces of collections, and then they have a gap, and then they have a nice piece of collection, and then they have a gap. So it's that in and out. And the next one is the reader, and that's the person that turns their floor into a display just so they can see everything, kind of look at it. It doesn't, condition maybe isn't quite so meaningful to them, but they find just joy in the item itself. So after reading the article, I'm kind of like, okay, and it kind of wraps up with which one are you? And the summary is kind of what I came up with as well, is that I think most of us are kind of in this combination mode. I don't, I Snoop on his channel just came back this week, which was great to see, by the way. But he just the time wise, there's things that get in the way. So I'd love to say I'm a completionist, but I'm certainly not. I'm working to be much more that way. I don't want to be a part timer anymore. I want to be back into it full time. Whether it's buying, sorting, creating content, just conversing with other people about it, keeping up on it. I want to get away from being the eBayer, but as I've said in other videos, it's kind of where I'm at right now in my life and where I live that kind of creates that almost as a necessity for me, just because of the ease of obtaining things. I'm definitely not the investor. That's not what I've done a lot. And Scott on his video really talked about paring down and getting what he loves. And I think it goes back to that. And I kind of am there. I've narrowed it down to 3 PCs, 3 or 4 PCs, depending on how you want to look at that. My Iowa State cards, and then I've begun work on some sets just for something different, and that was a G's Mikey thing that kind of talked me into, or showed me that it is possible to do that. So I've started work on a 1958 Topps baseball set, and I'm about a fifth of the way through that set. Obviously, there's some big cards in that set. Anytime you're talking 50s, golden era of baseball to me anyway. A lot of things going forward there, but it's been a lot of fun. And I just started that back in, I'm going to say February. I was looking at some cards and ended up getting a 58 Eddie Matthews. And this isn't going to be a pristine high dollar set, but it's one of those things that just some of the cool names, the logos, the poses, the information on the back, just some of it just cracks me up. And it's amazing how much better it is in 58 than it was maybe in 54 with tops. So hopefully this video gave you something to think about. I know I need to focus down. I'm a little bit of an ADD when it comes to collecting. I see squirrels everywhere. I'm jumping around. I know 1 Million Cubs on Twitter. I think his name's Bo. Has an article that he shares that he wrote on his blog, website, whatever it is, about going down the rabbit hole looking for things on eBay. And most people are that way, but I think there again, it goes back to what most people say. If you enjoy it, collect it. And that's what, I want you to seriously think about is, enjoy what you collect, but maybe, and I know I'm this way after hearing Scott say it out loud, I kind of put myself there. It was, what do I truly love and what is just nice to have and to like? He talks about being able to display, and here in just a minute, I'll turn around the camera. I'm doing this on a Chromebook is where I'm recording it, but I'll turn around so you can kind of see just a little bit of my display. One will be a PC and one will be, both will be PCs, I guess, for lack of better terms. And then just kind of how I have some things organized. I'll stand up and kind of walk you over. It's going to be kind of dark on this side, but here's a Dan Quisenberry grouping. Okay, and then down here, I've got some of my Iowa State cards, not the world's greatest look at things. Here's a shelf with my Hall of Fame graded cards, and then just some baseballs that I thought I'd show off there. Kirby Puckett work. So just what kind of collector are you? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, what you think about it. Share. That's one of the things I love about this community is the ability to share and communicate, look at other ideas and opinions, and learn. It's what makes it great. So till next time, stay safe, stay smart, have a good time, enjoy what you collect. See you later.